I have said more than once that you will fail your way to success, and this email is a good example of that. I recently ended up announcing that I was going to start a Hall of Fame, and I began to get emails from people, some of which, like this one, I have never met this person. He didn't buy anything from me. He ended up listening to my podcast, as you'll hear, but it points out something that I've said before, is that an awful lot of people, whether it's through the podcast, video, my website, use that material to succeed, and I've never met those people. So let's take a listen to what he wrote to me. Rick, not his real name. Hi, Bruce. I thought I would email you to share my success story. Although I have not participated in your mentor program, I have been an avid listener of your podcast and have enjoyed learning from you. I began my journey about 9 months ago while working a full-time job. My job required me to work 12-hour shifts both day and night on a rotating schedule. This made it difficult to create a routine. However, even with the 12-hour shifts, I put in the effort to work on this prior to my shift and immediately afterwards. A month into the process, I had completed my board, found my accountants and lawyers, both on success fees, and began looking at 2 deals. 2 months into the search, I realized that I hadn't picked a very good, friendly industry, so I decided to pivot into another niche. I fired my 2 industry advisors and let my board know that we were changing industries. I then began interviewing replacement advisors and simultaneously began analyzing deals. After a month later, I realized that I had again not selected a friendly industry, and the market conditions for that sector made it even worse. I then notified my board that we would be changing industries yet again. I thought at that point I would lose confidence of the board and that I would more than likely need to find a new team altogether. Luckily, this wasn't the case, and they expressed that they had confidence in me and that I had their full support. By this point, I quit my job with a plan to focus on this full-time. I began looking at various industries and selected one and began interviewing advisors, and after 2 weeks found an advisor who was a rock star in this field. We then began looking at deals and building the pipeline. That was 5 or 6 months ago, and I'm proud to say that we recently completed our first deal. I'm not going to discuss the specifics of the transaction, other than to say that it was a multi-million-dollar deal, required no capital from me or my team, and no personal guarantee. I have learned a lot along the way, and if I can offer any advice to others, it is to stay focused on your dream and work hard at it. I believe that the key to success is not quitting. It has been an emotional roller coaster for me, filled with a lot of no's and a lot of setbacks. But in the end, persistence prevailed. Thank you for your mentorship from afar, and thank you for your help in helping so many of us. I don't mind you sharing my story if you choose. However, I would respectfully ask that you keep my information confidential, which I just did. I took all his names and contact information out of that. So a great example of failing, continuing, adjusting if the plan isn't working. If you're going to fail, fail fast. You'll note there that he pivoted twice, certainly. So important to remember. If you are on my mailing list, great. If you're not, just go over to go.brucewhipple.com/free class, and you'll be put on the mailing list as well as getting that free class on the top 10 objections to doing this. So I would encourage you to remember examples like this. Remember that you will, in fact, fail your way to success. I've been asked a couple times about answering questions, and I just wanted to tell you once again that I do 2 live Q&As each month. This is a week that I will do one on Wednesday and one on Friday for only the Deep Dive Bootcamp members. So if you do not have that Deep Dive Bootcamp and you're looking for the ways to do this and the steps to follow, hop over to brucewhipple.com and go ahead and grab that bootcamp recording course. But you will fail your way to success. Remember that. Nobody, well, I don't know, maybe there is somebody, but I haven't met him. You will find that You, most of the time, will have a lot of setbacks, a lot of no's, and if you keep pushing, persistence in the end usually wins the day.